Hey guys, welcome to Making Mindfulness Fun and welcome back to our Enneagram series. Now really quick before we start this video, I just want to ask you guys, if you like this video and you like our channel, please be sure to like this video and subscribe. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about the Enneagram 3, which is called the Achiever. The Achiever, which is what I am. The Achiever is, we're going to be talking about what the key mindfulness practices are for the Enneagram 3 so that they can step into their full power and joy and love. So what is the Enneagram Type 3, also known as the Achiever? What I love about the Enneagram the most is that they did so good at nailing the names for each one, and you can get so much insight just from the name alone. The Enneagram 3 is called the Achiever. Their core desire in life is achievement and being the best. That doesn't mean that they're straight up always the person shoving their way to the top. It just means that that's their core desire, is that they're always going to better themselves, to be the best version of themselves, and to be the best at what they do. So while that's an amazing thing, and you guys are amazing athletes, amazing business partners, you also struggle a little with needing to be the best as your core desire. You struggle with not being the best sometimes. When you get to that, you can't get yourself to relax, is what I'm saying. And so what you need to do for your mindfulness is learn how to accept and be with not being the best, because you're not just loved for being the best. You're amazing. Everyone loves being around you, Type 3s, but you don't need to achieve to be fulfilled. And so that's what we're going to talk about more in this video too.
Yeah, because I'm a Type 8 and Gabby's a Type 3, and we're very similar in a lot of ways, but whereas like a Type 8 just constantly needs that intensity or challenge, I don't necessarily have to be the best, but I do want it kind of my way. So we seem very similar, whereas Type 3s are definitely getting the status. They want the gold medal, they want first place, they want to hit that new level in climbing. All these things really come to play. And so, for example, this last week, we've been spending so much time getting this new YouTube going and our new website and creating all these amazing products for you. And while I love having like a small dose of that every day, Type 3s, sometimes we just need to cut the cord and be like, you need a detox break, because it's just, you're just so driven that you don't know how to separate the two. And so it's great for our family because we tend to go take breaks and go off grid where we have no cell service. Gabby will even leave her phone for days at a time, just because she knows that, okay, this is where I get to go achieve now in my sport, and I don't always have to have the recognition in my business or in getting 1,000 subscribers. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe for Gabby. Do it for Gabby.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's the quickest way though to piss off Type 3 is we make this joke with Gabby, and she wants to murder us every time we quote. We're like, relax. She's like, I can't relax. Don't tell me that. So I would say that the second thing that's probably the most you really have to self-reflect on this one. This isn't as simple as just do a tech cleanse. And it's a very involved mindfulness process. And that second thing is to detach from extrinsic results. And this is my mission with Flow State Warriors. So I believe, most Type 3s, not all Type 3s, a lot of Type 3s are driven in business, or they're driven to be like a great parent. But a lot of Type 3s are extremely driven athletes, and a lot of the best athletes in the world are Type 3s. And so my mission is to help Type 3s redefine their version of success, so it comes from a place of internal drive, of intrinsic motivation and passion, because passion is a true core pure value. It's the joy, it's the joie de vivre. It's doing things for the sake of doing things. And so if you are driven in things, and you have to ask yourself, am I driven to do this for an extrinsic result? Was it coming from a place of I love this and I do it for the sake of doing it? And so personally, I can say for example, I've always been a driven athlete. I was a gymnast and a soccer player from a really young age, and I was a competitive surfer, and I always wanted to, I loved the sports, but I was always doing it from a place of I want to be the best. And so in my mindfulness journey of moving to an RV and self-reflecting, I learned how to, I'm doing this for the wrong reason. And so it's a constant mindfulness practice for me to reflect on, okay, am I doing this from the right place? Am I aligned with my core values? Am I aligned with my passion? And now with climbing, I get to practice that on a regular basis. And it's really about reflecting, of becoming self-aware of yourself kind of at all points of your life. We're all in our Enneagrams at all times in our life. So we have the real key is to become self-aware at all times.
Yeah. And that's great. And then the third and final thing you should do for mindfulness and self-care is allowing yourself to let loose and have fun with other people. Because as a type 3, you have this intense goal-driven mindset, but it's also a intense desire to experience and to have the best experience in things. So you just want someone who shares that passion of life with you. So hitting up maybe, like we're going to talk later, your type 7 friend who says, hey, let's just go on a hike and let's go jump into an alpine lake. Yes, that sounds amazing. Or it doesn't have to be an alpine lake. Just having, planning an activity or an outing free from achievement and just about having fun and experiencing life will be extremely helpful for your type.
And I do think that when you embrace an aspect of challenge, it allows you to be maybe for the challenger type 8, this wouldn't be the best, but for a type 3 who's like, I need achievement, challenging, being in a challenge brings them back to the process. Because it's still, I'm pushing myself really hard because frankly, we're not going to fully escape ourselves.
Yeah, and it's really important to know that your greatest strength is also your biggest weakness and vice versa. So while a type 3 is going to be achievement driven, you should never give that up. You should absolutely work towards something. The problem comes when you try to be the best in everything, and that ends up leading you to burnout. You're just going to be frustrated. It's never going to feel like enough. So segregating that in your mind and being like, okay, well, in this space, I'm going to choose to work to be the best, and I'm going to train hard. I'm going to work hard. But in this, I'm going to work on just enjoying the process. Yeah. I'm just going to be
like that. What is it? You said, like, be told this as a kid. It was like a little metaphor. Work while you work, play while you play.
This is the way to be happy every day.
Bring it back to kids again. Bring it back to their child.
That's right. Yeah. So, one real quick before Flow State Warriors, which is amazing. Even if you're not a type 3, as a type 9 and a type 8, we love her Flow State Warriors. The activations, especially the journaling, really helps us with our self-limiting beliefs, because as much as I do like challenge, I am not good at pushing myself on the rock wall like Gabby is. And I know that it's something that I try to deny that, it's not that important to me, but deep down it's important to me.
And it's saying a lot if I like it, because I'm a type 9 and it's literally in my personality that I don't really care about achieving anything. I'm just like, chill.
But you're 9's in growth, which we'll talk about later, but 9's in growth.
And we'll talk about later wings, because I think I was going to mention real quick, depending on if you're a 3 wing 2 or 3 wing 4, I think some 3s are actually the other side, that they don't recognize that they're actually driven to achievement. And that's an important thing. Like I said, if you're a 3-2, you might think you're a 2.
Or you could think you're a 4.
Right. But I think a lot of 3-2s have this tendency to see their 2 wing in themselves, because maybe they weren't nurtured to step into their 3 in a healthy space. So it's a really good time to reflect and be like, am I driven to achievement and then to helping? Or am I driven to helping and then achievement? And it does play a role. We have our personality hacker kind of talks about that more, but tell us about Flow State Warriors.
So you guys can, if you want to try it out, I have a free athlete success hypnosis. Now, even if you're not an athlete, you could use this to experience peak performance outside of athletic realms. But this really is specialized for people who are driven to be driven in athletic pursuits. So you can check that out with the link below. And like you said, you can get the Precision Personality Hacker to really find out if you're a 3 or not, if you think you're a 2, if you think you're a 4, maybe you'll figure it out with the Precision Personality Hacker.
One last thing, I'm going to tie in. I think a lot of parents, just when she was saying that, she said how it would affect you even if you're not an athlete. A lot of parents inadvertently live vicariously through their children in their sports. And I think that hypnosis is really powerful in checking in with, like, hey, is it time? I know for me, the reason our life looks like it does now is because when Gabby was competing all the time, I caught myself like, wait, why do I care if she scores a goal or not? This makes no sense. And so in that journey over the last decade, I've realized, no, I have to go pursue flow state myself so that I don't damage my kids by trying to make them something I wasn't. And that's all related to Flow State Warriors. It's all about overcoming these programming and self-limiting beliefs that are totally holding us back. So that was a
Definitely
good wrap up.
So if you are a type 3 and this video helps you, please be sure to let us know in the comments. Or if you know a type 3 and this rings so true and you're like, I can't wait to help them with these mindfulness practices, let us know in the comments as well. And be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.